Who's ready for another unhinged client story? Let's name her Thelma. Thank you, Nicole, from the last video for letting me use your grandma's name for this unhinged client story because it is a wild one. I also need a guy's name, so let's go for Mike. So now let me tell you about this lovely couple who came in and full-fledged had the biggest fucking argument of a couple's argument that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I just got to sit back and watch. Not like intentionally, but I really couldn't get a word in. Okay, so Thelma comes in with Mike and they're scheduled for a couple shoot, and it's a full couple shoot. So we do a partial couples or a full couple shoot. They did the full. So every single set, everything, the whole shoot is with the both of them in it. Have you ever been in a fight or you've witnessed a couple fight about the dumbest thing, but it is like a major fight? Let me explain. So when we do a couple shoot, I typically will sit them down right at the beginning of the shoot, and this is after hair and makeup, we'll go through outfits and stuff like that. And then right when we're about to start actually shooting, I'll be like, okay, so tell me about your vision for the shoot. I kind of already have an idea at this point because they filled out their questionnaire. So I kind of already know a little bit about them, what they want and stuff like that. But I like to, especially since some people will fill out the questionnaire a year in advance, because they book their session a year in advance. And then, so, I ask because maybe they change their mind, maybe they have a different vision now, or whatever the case may be. But regardless, so I sat them down, I sat Thelma and Mike down, and I was like, okay, so talk to me about the vision for the shoot. Do we want it more Vogue style, very front of a magazine cover, or do we want it more romantic, a little bit more raunchy? Talk to me. So Thelma says, oh, full-fledged, dirty, raunchy, everything, all of the poses that can, be considered raunchy is what she wanted. Then Mike looks at her and goes, you told me that this was gonna be basically just almost like an engagement session with just a little bit less clothes. What do you mean raunchy? What do you mean by that? So clearly they were not on the same page. Now, granted, I can do both styles. I can do both styles, and I even said that. I was like, okay, that's totally fine. We can do a little bit of both, a huge mix of photos, just so you guys are both happy. Not a problem whatsoever. But Mike, I do want to make sure that you are comfortable with the more raunchy stuff, because obviously I want your consent with that. I don't want to just throw you into a pose that you're not comfortable with. And he looked at me and he goes, ma'am. I'm like, ma'am, okay. He goes, absolutely not. We will not be doing anything raunchy. I was promised an engagement style shoot just with less clothes. And I'm sitting there going, bitch, why are you mad at me? I am just the person here witnessing this. We ain't playing that game. But yet I keep my mouth shut. I look at Thelma. I'm like, please control your man. Not control your man, but can you figure this out so I'm not the one having to mediate this? So they're kind of arguing back and forth, and she's like, Mike, we've talked about this. I wanted super, super sexy. I wanted basically what we do during sex without it being inserted. I want everything. And I'm sitting here going, oh my God, okay, this is so uncomfortable for me to be witnessing and just sitting here watching. But I'm not even kidding. They were talking so fast that I could not even get a word in after that. I just couldn't get, and I'm not someone who struggles to get the last word in. I literally can insert myself in pretty much any freaking conversation and at any time. I'm just loud like that. But I could not get a freaking word in. So they were arguing back and forth. No, yes, no, yes, no, raunchy, yes, no, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, what? So I raised my hand up. They both saw me, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna step away for a second to let you guys have a private conversation about this. You guys let me know when you're ready, and we can discuss exactly how we want this to go. They didn't even acknowledge me basically, but they kind of turned their heads and then kept arguing. So I walked away because I was like, I have other things I can be doing besides listening to you two argue about this. So, I'll give them a couple minutes, and then I will, go and do stuff. They're still in my visual so I can see them and stuff like that. So I know when they're ready to go or whatever. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna go clean a couple things or something like that. Just make it a little less uncomfortable. And of course, during this time, I'm like, hey, Amy, my studio manager / sister, I was like, can you turn the music up a little bit so we can kind of drown out this awkward fighting sound? So she turns the music up a little bit, and we're just kind of trying to drown them out a little bit because they're screaming at each other. This isn't just a little nitpicky fight. They're there's no shame here. They're full-fledged fighting with each other. 10 minutes go by and they're still arguing. 10 minutes later, I'm sorry, but the lack of communication skills that you two must have, it wild to me. Me and my husband, if we ever were to I don't know, get into a fight in front of someone, we would just bite our tongues until we got home. Or I don't know, if there was something to try to figure out, we would compromise in some way, but there was no compromising. So after 10 minutes goes by, okay, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm coming in. I'm going in. And Amy is like watching in the back, like with the binoculars, going like, oh God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So I walk in and I put my hand up again and I'm like, hey guys, me again. So did we come to a decision? Is there anything that I can do to help? I shit you not. This is the funniest thing, the funniest part of this whole thing. They both turn to me and both basically at the same time go, we're breaking up. So no, we're done here. We're done here. What? So I'm like, how exactly do I answer that? How do I respond to that? Okay. So basically I do only what I know how to do, which is, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Is there anything that I can do? Is there like, I'm so sorry to hear that. Would you like to reschedule? I just panicked and I didn't know what to do. I was like, do you guys want to like, actually, I think exactly what I said is, do you guys want to cool off and then let me know if you want to reschedule? I think that's what I said. This was a while ago, so I don't really remember exactly the word for word besides like the we're gonna break up thing. But I'm pretty sure that I said, hey, like, did you guys want to reschedule after you've taken a little bit of time to cool off? That's not a problem at all. We can absolutely reschedule you, not a big deal. So she goes, literally this is in front of Mike. So Thelma goes, yes, I'm gonna reschedule. I want to reschedule and do my own shoot. Fuck this guy. And like looks at him and he's like, no, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, dude, what? Like the lack of respect in this relationship, it's wild. But so she's like, no, I'm fucking doing this on my own. So yes, I will reschedule. I will reschedule with you. Let me know some dates. And I'm like, you know what, Thelma, maybe you guys just should go. And then we can email back and forth some dates and stuff like that. Like, it seems like this is taking precedence. So maybe you should like pay attention to that. Let me know. Anyway, the awkward part was because they drove together. So they leave. So they're like leaving and we can see outside the window. So we're just like, what is gonna go on? So we're like looking outside the window to see what they do. And they go opposite directions. Like, so I'm like, oh shit, like is someone not getting home? Keep in mind, I remember that this couple did not live close. They were like hours away. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, what's going on? So this is the wild part. So later on that day, Thelma emails me. And she basically was just bitching in this email about how awful of a person he is and thank God they broke up and whatever. And she was explaining, he left me there at your studio. He took the car. I had no way or no means of getting home. So I had to Uber all the way home, which is a 3-hour drive. She's like, I had to Uber all the way home, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, so do I get something like for free, like a compensation because of the inconvenience? I offered to reschedule your shoot for free, which I should not have done. I should have charged you a reschedule fee, which is in my contract, but I did the nice thing because that was a wild thing I had to witness. But now you're asking me for compensation in some form because of the inconvenience for you? What? What the fuck? Why are people like this?